The first time Maya saw him, he was crying. Not the dramatic movie scene kind of crying, just silent tears sliding down his face as he stared at his laptop in the corner of the coffee shop. She was supposed to be working on her thesis, something about post-colonial identity and contemporary literature, but instead found herself watching this stranger try to wipe his eyes without anyone noticing. He noticed her noticing. Their eyes met for a half-second before Maya looked away, heat rising to her cheeks. She buried her face in her book, mortified. 5 minutes later, a coffee appeared at her table. "I didn't order this," she said, looking up at the barista. From him. The barista nodded toward the crying stranger, who was now packing up his things. He gave Maya a small wave, apologetic, slightly embarrassed, and left. The cup had writing on it. "Sorry for the awkward eye contact. I promise I'm not always a mess." Maya smiled despite herself, wrapping her hands around the warm cup. She looked at what he'd ordered for her. Chamomile tea with honey, not coffee. Somehow, he'd guessed right. 3 days later, she saw him again. Same corner, different crisis. This time, he was laughing, loudly, almost desperately at something on his phone, drawing annoyed looks from other customers. Maya walked over before she could talk herself out of it. "So, is this your thing? Extreme emotions in public spaces?" Heaton looked up and his face broke into a genuine smile. "You came back. I come here every Tuesday. You're the one who came back." "Touché." He gestured to the empty chair. "Want to sit? I promise I'm having a better day. Relatively speaking." She sat. "Maya," she said, extending her hand. "Ethan." His handshake was warm, a little too long. "Thanks for not running away the other day. Or this time. The day's still young." He laughed. A real laugh this time, not the manic one from before. "Fair enough. So, Maya, who reads thick literary criticism at coffee shops, what's your story?" "That's a big question for a Tuesday afternoon." "I've got time. And I owe you more than just tea after last week's display." So Maya told him. Not everything, not about her father's death 2 years ago, not about how she'd switched from engineering to literature because she needed to understand grief and her mother couldn't understand her anymore, but she told him about her thesis, about how she'd moved to Seattle from California, about her roommate's terrible cat who hated everyone except the mailman. Ethan listened like it was the most fascinating thing he'd ever heard. When it was his turn, he hesitated. "I'm a software engineer, which is possibly the most boring thing you've heard today." "And the crying?" "My mom." He swallowed hard. "She has early onset Alzheimer's. That day I was on a video call with her and she didn't recognize me, just asked who the nice young man on her computer was." Maya's chest tightened. "Ethan, I'm so—" "Don't. Please. Everyone's sorry. I'm so tired of sorry. Sometimes it hits me in random moments, you know? Like I'll be working and I'll think, I should call Mom and tell her about this. And then I remember that even if I do call, she might not know who I am." And today, the laughing? Today she remembered. Called me her stargazer boy, which is what she used to call me when I was obsessed with astronomy as a kid. It lasted maybe 5 minutes before she got confused again, but